Gather round, disciples of discernment. Today's reading comes from the drive-through gospel of St. Tim of Sarasota, patron saint of empty gestures and fast food almsgiving. Yes, brethren, we bear witness to another miraculous act of performative kindness, brought to you by the man, the myth, the master of manufactured virtue, Sarasota Tim. In the last 7 days alone, our boy Tim has uploaded over 30 videos, an avalanche of content, most of it filmed from the holy driver's seat of his faded Honda Accord Tabernacle. He's vlogging from gas stations, Walmart parking lots, and Planet Fitness like it's the Stations of the Cross. But the one that truly lit the beacon of cringe was one of his sacred McDonald's coffee runs. Not content with just caffeinating, Tim once again decides to go full televangelist and perform an on-camera miracle, buying breakfast for the guy behind him. Now, before you crown him the Mother Teresa of Mickey D's, let me clarify. There's a strict upper limit to Tim's generosity. He tithes in chicken biscuit increments. Most days he maxes out around $10, though if the Spirit moves him and the drive-through line is short, he might stretch it to $15. Praise be, but don't get excited. This ain't loaves and fishes, folks. This is bargain bin benevolence, budgeted and broadcast for maximum clout return. So who was the lucky recipient of this saintly sacrifice? A struggling mom? A homeless veteran? A tired nurse coming off a double shift? Of course not. It was a man in a Mercedes S-Class, a plush German throne on wheels, with leather seats worth more than Tim's monthly channel revenue. But Tim, filled with what can only be described as delusions of YouTube sainthood, pays anyway. Not because the guy needed it, but because it was a public act he could humble brag about later to his dwindling community. You know, the same group he regularly hits up for gas money while claiming he's crushing it for Christ. And then, here's the best part. Tim actually gets offended because the Mercedes guy didn't give him a wave. That's right. No thank you, no head nod, no eye contact, just silent drive-through ghosting. It was glorious to watch, my friends. Well, Tim, maybe, and I'm just spitballing ideas here, the man didn't wave because he thought you were weird, because you are. To him, you're some old sunburned guy in a Honda with a phone mount, suction cup to the windshield, and a strong smell of desperation. You bought his meal out of nowhere, probably with a big grin and your camera light on. He didn't think you were generous. He thought you were filming a prank video. But wait, our parable doesn't end with the S-Class. Oh no, several days later, Tim returns to the golden altar of McDonald's, filming yet another sacred pilgrimage for his loyal disciples. Right from the jump, he lets us know this is going to be an exciting video. Strap in, folks, we're going to McDonald's. Again. This time, he teases, something might happen. And lo it does, a moral dilemma worthy of the Gospels. Should Tim buy coffee for the car behind him? The stakes couldn't be higher. This is the ultimate test of Christian charity. But alas, the car behind Tim used a mobile order. But lo, as if sent by the content gods themselves, redemption appears. 4 cars back, a $9.62 order, drenched in purpose and marinated in opportunity. Does Tim seize the moment? Does he reach down into his holy wallet, fish out a 10 spot, and bless the unsuspecting soul? Of course not. He lets it pass. That car's too far back, so he won't get a wave. There's no shallow validation. Heaven forbid he sacrifice for someone without a camera pointed at his aging, self-satisfied face. Because that's the uncomfortable truth here, folks. Tim doesn't want to be charitable. He wants to appear charitable. He doesn't want to help. He wants to be seen helping. If the act can't be documented, narrated, and monetized, it might as well not exist. This isn't generosity. It's a content strategy with a side of fries. But what makes this next level hypocritical is Tim's self-styled identity as a man of God. You've seen his videos, crushing it for Christ, where he preaches about Jesus right after flexing about how many steps he took between Walmart and Planet Fitness. He acts like he's Moses coming down from the mountain every time he does a crushing it for Christ video. Yet somehow in all of Tim's pulpit preaching, Matthew 6 verses 1 through 4 never make the sermon. Jesus teaches that acts of giving should be done privately and humbly, not for public praise. Those who give for attention have already received their reward from people, but those who give in secret will be rewarded by God. The emphasis is on sincerity, humility, and doing good for the right reasons, not for recognition. You hear that, Tim? You've already received your reward. In your case, it's a few pity likes and a comment from a viewer saying, "You have such a big heart, hon." That's it. That's your prize. Was it worth it? This wasn't charity. This was public relations. You weren't giving, you were auditioning. Real generosity doesn't sulk when it doesn't get applause. It doesn't whine when a guy in a luxury car doesn't flash a grateful thumbs up. That's not benevolence, Tim. That's emotional blackmail in a paper sack. And let's be honest, this was never about the man in the Benz. This was about you, your need to be seen, your need to be validated, your need to pump out 4 videos a day of self-righteous content for your dwindling audience. You turned a random act into an unpaid audition for Touched by a YouTuber. If you really want to crush it for Christ, maybe stop using the Sermon on the Mount as filler between your coffee runs and GoFundMe links. Maybe try helping someone who actually looks like they've missed a few meals. They won't give you clicks, but they just might give you a little perspective. You know, the ones Jesus actually talked about. But let's be real. Finding someone who actually looks like they've missed a few meals, that takes work. That takes compassion. 2 things Tim seems far less interested in. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate the likes and comments. It helps the channel, and it encourages me to do more videos.